It's glistening. It sparkles too. What? It's like a Egyptian chain. Just sparkling.
Audio or video?
You just bag is
Because your brain extension.
Gonna take that one?
You direct it right?
Okay. Wow.
My braids be sparkling because the sparkle goes off.
It's rubs off in my seat.
Are we gonna get something here?
Okay. That's what I'm sorry about.
Yes.
One guy's
Hello. You're at the head of the table. How you doing today?
I'm good. Stuck in the elevator for a minute. Here we are. Let's get it popping. Oh shit.
Take your time. Yeah.
Oh no! Wasting another viewer.
No, that's okay.
Alright. I'm not in any way choppy. How you doing?
Good, great. How you doing?
Super good. Yeah. What do you need from me? What can I give you?
Well,
make sure you're heard. People can hear your voice.
Okay. I don't know what I'm supposed to say right now. We go around the table, we ask questions.
Yeah, we're going to go around.
So we're going to start from this side. We should give them a spoiler alert.
Oh yeah, I can't say anything about Steven Universe.
I figured.
Yeah, like I can't give you any spoilers or nothing. So like, just you know, I'll probably just drink some drinks.
I was.
If you ask me, so don't be offended. Just FYI, ice.
I was waiting to see how he's going to shoot them all
Just making
down.
sure you're talking about the actual show, not
Or
outside the show.
it is just you know, you can just the generals. Don't. I'm just you know.
Understood.
Okay, okay.
Because yeah.
Well, I'm going to introduce myself. How you doing? My name is
You
Greg.
gonna skip it?
Oh, no, we put a same
Oh, okay, cool.
thing.
Okay.
My name is Greg. We're from a podcast
Okay.
called Land Party. So my question is, in your recent album, Lovers Rock, did you see any bit of, or did you feel like there was any bit of Ruby and Sapphire in any of your songs? Like, I understand it's dedicated to like your mother and father.
Oh yeah, there's nothing to do with either.
Oh.
It's two separate whole entities. I started as a singer 20 years ago. And I've only been doing Steven Universe for the past 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
So there's neither of each in any of the entities kind of thing. And me as a person though, I would say, I mean, you could look at it to a degree because I feel like the way that they write the characters are based on human emotion, you know. So if you wanted to relate it like that, sure, all over it. You know, people get angry, people are cool. You know, there's happy times and there's like, I don't want to know times, you know, in every scenario. And this one being about a relationship. You know, if I was to look at it though, I could call my mom Ruby and my dad Sapphire in the sense of like my dad's very cool and my mom's quite like Ruby. Like she's very excited a lot. She's really excited. And my dad's very much like, alright, cool. And that's probably why they're a good match. So if you want to give it that, then yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No worries.
Jay from Power 945 Internet Radio.
Hi, Jay.
Hi. I was just wanted to ask if you look back over your career, starting when you started to where you are now, how you have noticed that blurred culture has changed.
Oh my days. Well, I've been doing this like concentrated for 6 years, and I think it's been a beautiful. What's the word? It's been an amazing climb, but it's been like sharp. It's been like a zoop, like it's just gone through the sky, and I love it because it's like I don't walk into a room anymore, and it's just me. You know, I walk into like conventions, like I walk into do animation events, and it's just me. You know, as a black woman in animation. And not say it was ever just me, because obviously there's like Rachel True, there's Chris Summer, there's other people who've done, and there's so many other black artists and voiceover artists and actors and actresses. But oftentimes when I was walking in like 5-6 years ago, it was just me, you know. So like now it's just like, oh, this all of us, we're here, hi guys, you know. You see people routinely, and it's dope as hell to me. I feel like inclusion is the way.
Yeah.
It's always been the way, you know. I'm just happy we're here.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Najee, and I represent Team JVS. And I really got a really complex question. So, upon you being announced for Blerdcon, I mean, me and all my friends, we geeked out. We were super excited, big Steven Universe fans and so forth. And upon trying to request for you, we know that your time is going to be limited. And in our, you know, in other cons, we usually, when we hear that, we know like, oh, we're not going to get to talk to her. But you did make sacrifices. We all collectively got here together, and we're all going to be able to ask questions. And I thought that was really special. So I wanted to thank you for, you know, being able to, your sacrifices and so forth for that. My question is, with people like Halle Berry, who's recently spoke out about having to talk to her brothers and sisters, where her PR person said, we don't have time. She said, no, I got to talk to my brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
We're obviously here for Blerdcon, which is an amazing movement that's going on in this area.
Yeah.
And also, Kira Kelly is another person who's saying Black Hollywood is failing the black press.
Yeah.
I want to know for you, at least your comments at least, what does it mean to be able to sit here and we're all collectively here for you and the sacrifices you made to make sure you was able to do this?
I've never not done it. So, you know, I never not do it as a statement. I never not did it. Like, I've always done black press. Like, I don't understand. Like, you're pointing it out, and I'm just like, yeah, it's a regular day for me. I don't, like,
Yeah.
it's very probable. Should I not do it? I get and I understand that side of it, because definitely I've had press officers in the past be like, we don't do that. And I was like,
Yeah.
why not? Shit, I'm like, what do you mean I don't do that? Like, what does that mean? It's what I grew up listening to. This is why it's here. I don't understand. So, like, for me, it's never been about, like, I don't do that or I don't do this. I do press, I talk to people who talk to me, I answer the questions that are sensible, and I keep it flat across the board, because to me it's about the questions, it's about what you're talking about, it's about who you're engaging. At the end of the day, I'm black. This is my culture, this is who I am, I don't care where you think I'm from. To me it's more about, the challenge has been, you're from London, you don't relate. Meanwhile, all we do is absorb American culture. Like, black American culture is our thing. Like, so, you know, I'm geeking out about Rachel True and Cree Summer the same way you are, because I grew up on them as much as I was in the industry, right? So to me, it's like, I don't see the difference. I don't get it. Like, I think it's beautiful that those statements are being made now. Yes, bigger artists should say that, should point that out, because you will have press officers that will say, you don't need to do the black, it's not going to get you. But at the end of the day, black is cool. Black things are cool. I don't care, like, we do. It is what it is, right? So yeah, I've always done it. I never see the difference.
I really appreciate that. It's very valid. You get there on time, you authenticate, and you give all your credentials, you wait in line. And then it's your turn. They're like, hey, we don't have much time. Can y'all group together? Then you group together, and they're like, hey, we don't have no time.
You know, like, well, I'm here, so.
We appreciate it.
I appreciate you coming. Thank you.
How you doing?
Hi.
Timothy Craigette, WERA 96.7 FM, The Swickett Show.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming to DC.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, Cartoon Network and Dove, they're partnering together to do the self-esteem movement to help bring about awareness. And they chose Steven Universe as the vehicle to talk about something that's really, really a very important issue, especially with our youth today.
Yeah.
So the question for you is, what makes Steven Universe the vehicle to be palatable to talk about something as important as self-esteem?
Have you watched it? No, it's incredible. Like, look, Rebecca and them surprise me every time I see an episode. Like, the stuff they talk about is like, I would say Rebecca's like a next level empath or next level freaking genius, one of the two, because she be in my house. I swear to God, she's never in my house. She be in my house, like, just, cause I'll get like my script, and I try not to read it till I get into the show, into the room, right? And then there'll be something that I was going through that week. You know, like, she's so genius about the way she writes about humans and human emotion, and for some reason she just knows us all really well without really knowing us really, really well. Right. And she manages to have the right words, and her team are great too. I think they just do a great job of it. And Dove was smart enough to spot that.
Exactly.
You know, smart enough to spot that and give them the freedom to do what they need to do in the way they need to do it. It's good. I think it's great. I think they hit on something super early, and I think a lot more brands will follow.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.
No worries.
Hi, my name is Sade. I'm a PhD student and I'm writing my dissertation on Blerdcon as a sort of non-traditional religious space where African Americans are building a sense of identity.
You said a religious place?
Yeah.
Okay.
So in the sense of when you go to these sorts of conventions, you with your people.
Yeah.
And it helps you to navigate the world in a different way because you found a home.
It's a new option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is not necessarily tied to traditions, religious traditions. So my question is, what do you think the importance of spaces like Blerdcon for Black nerds or even just the alternative Black person that doesn't find themselves within mainstream culture?
I think that anytime, especially as Black people, the more I'm getting to know about American culture, anytime we get a chance, and I say we because I live here, get a chance to celebrate ourselves in a space that is newly recognized, we should do it. Like, foundations are important, spaces are important, whether it becomes something more, like, it's integrated as it is, but we still need our own sense of space. Because, like, when people were brought here, they were not given their sense of space. We weren't afforded, I should say, a sense of space. So it's important at every step to have that, whatever happens, wherever, what it is. To me, it's not segregation, it's just recognizing, right? So I think it's important, I think it's great. Like, and everyone can come be a part of it from our perspective, as we're kind of like expected to be a part of everything from everyone else's perspective at all times. So this is great, it's good times. Yeah. Hello.
Hi, I'm Marcus from the Great Geek Refuge.
The LT show.
Thank you. When you first got into voice work for Steven Universe, did you ever imagine that the role that you took on would be as impactful to both children and adults alike as the character has been over in the recent years?
I had no clue. I really took this role. I really asked for this role. I prayed for a role, and then I got it. And I asked for the role, and I said, you know, like, what's it about? And they were like, well, you're kind of like the big sister or the mother to all these gems. And I was like, I can relate. No, but I have loads of brothers and sisters. And I was like, yeah, you know. And then my selfish part of it was I wanted to do something that I knew my nieces and nephews would love. And they're overseas. So, like, and they literally, like the first time my niece heard my voice, for real, other than like being a super small baby, it was like on Steven Universe. She's like, that's Auntie Stella, that's Auntie Stella. I was like, oh my God, this is the plan, it's happening, guys. She knows my voice. Because I think it's important to be in your family's life no matter where you are, you know? And I knew that I was not going to physically be there, and it sounds crazy, but you have to think of things like that when you don't live home, right? And that was my selfish reason for doing it. And then, but the effect on adults and kids, whew, that's been humbling. It's been a beautiful thing. It's something I'm super grateful to be a part of. You know, people come up to me at the cons and they're like, "I wish we had this when we were kids," and I'm like, "You have it now. You know, today is what you have, so grow with it." You know, and it's like, yeah, this is true. So, I'm grateful. It's a good thing.
Great, thank you.
We're using the mic.
We got another one.
Okay.
Actually, go ahead.
Good hair.
Thank you. Thank you very much. My question is, as an artist in the entertainment industry, what has your journey been like? How is it working in two different industries, and what was the translation like?
Oh, in music, it's been something I've loved and done my entire life. I've been doing this for over 20 years. 6 albums? I don't know. I'm tired. It's a lot of records. It's a lot of albums. A lot of records. Doing voiceover work was a challenge because I just went into it. I was like, all right, cool, it's fine. I just gotta say things, right? And my vocal coach was like, nah, bro, what are you doing? I was like, I'm just saying words, it's fine. It's like, no. It's like being in a submarine and being in a rocket ship with your voice. And I was like, what does that mean? And I don't feel like a rocket ship or a submarine. He's like, so let me tell you what happens to your vocal cords. So that was an interesting. It's been an interesting ride. I've never been a sick person or nothing, but I've had a few vocal issues that I've had to like pay attention to, which has been fun because I'm not an underachiever. I'm not a failure. So you know, times when you can't speak, you're like, what is happening? So that's been like the only thing is like learning to take care of myself better. In a space where I'm just used to go, like you sing, go, you rap, go, you do this, go. Sometimes it's like, you know, I can't speak today. and it gets a little weird and things move around a little bit. So that's been, you know, and like I said, I'm ready to come. I'm used to working. So that was strange. But other than that, it's been pretty fun. I've learned that you can make, there's like 1,000 ways to make sounds that I never knew there was. Can be done in 50 ways. Can be done in 50 ways. And they're all slightly different. And they'll want that same one that you did at like 0.35 when you're like at 0.44 and you're like, I don't know what that was. And you have to go listen to it and replicate it. It's things like that you realize how powerful the physical human body and your memory and your and everything is. You're like, oh, this is crazy. I recall that. This is cool. It's another superpower, you know. But it's been fun. It's been cool, and meeting a whole new range, a whole new audience. Meeting a whole new audience. Meeting a whole new audience by voice acting. It's been dope. There's people that like, I know you from Steven Universe, and there's people that like, I know you. My mom knows you from American Boy and your songs. And nowadays she knows you from Steven Universe, and we all love you in our house. And I was like, this is great. This is great, guys. It's really cool because you get to relate to different eras, and I don't have to change per se my music. I can still stay 100% with my music and what I do, and also do Steven Universe, and people love all of it. You know, I'm allowed to be me. But a lot of people aren't allowed that. They have to like do younger music to like translate themselves. I don't have to. I can just do me, which is a blessing, a super blessing.
So the second follow-up question is, looking back over your career, getting started, who were the biggest people to impact you?
Overall, or
overall, from music to then into voice work.
I work backwards. Cree Summer for voice work. She's the queen. Like, good lord, like she has so many voices. It's like you see the picture of her like on Instagram or the tweets, and it's like 50 different characters she's playing, and you're just like, well, go how? Show me your ways. She's incredible. And then she's an actress on top of that, so that's amazing to me. It's like it shows you can be in so many different disciplines, but also be, you know, still be cool. And then the way she lives her life, she's very much just like a mom and her regular, but she's an artist. I think it's dope. And then music. Oh, it's everyone from Missy Elliott to Ella Fitzgerald, Dennis Brown, Busta Rhymes, to like, I like Black right now. I think he's dope. He's one of the most amazing rappers to me out there. He's really, really dope. And then there's the Turn Up Kings. Like,
Migos.
well, some days. Some days Migos. Bitch homie. Bitch homie bond. It's like, you know, I like everything that's hype. I just not hype, I like good records. I like good songs. And I'm inspired by everything and everyone to a degree. You know, I'll pull it apart in my head and take the bits that work for me and leave some of the bits that don't. And then sometimes it's just tipsy day and I'm having fun, you know? And there'll be something from that I take. But then there's like my standards, which are like Ella and Mary and Missy and, you know, Faith Evans and church music, you know? Like, so, I'll say church music because it's across the board. I grew up in church, it is what it is. So yeah, it's all of that. Yeah.
Alright, this is Samuel with Team JVS Outlet.
Hi, Samuel.
Hey, Estelle,
Love
first
the
of all,
t-shirt.
thank you. I got the shades right there.
Oh, okay. You ready?
I just first want to personally thank you for your presence on Steven Universe. Like, I think unanimously all of us feel the same exact way. You are one of my wife and my favorite character and performances. And our son, like, his name is David. We kind of call him our fusion, like legit. And so, like,
He is.
yeah, he legit is.
He is.
But my question goes to, I guess it's a good segue. Throughout your time working with Steven Universe from day to day,
Yeah.
in terms of your performances, from day one even until the movie that's about to come out really soon, I was curious, what's your most challenging moment or scene on the show and why?
Oh, well, there was one where like they had, so Garnet isn't a very, she's not emotive
No.
at all. And so there are days when I can literally roll out of bed and go do this character and I don't actually have to like nothing. I can just nothing.
Yeah.
Like, per se, right? Because her delivery is very flat. It's quite like me a lot. Just is what it is. But then there was a time when they were like, we need her to show emotion. And I walk into the set, I walk into the recording, and it was like, I think it was the one where she couldn't quite see the future.
Yeah.
And Steven had to choose, right? And so Rebecca was like, okay, I need you to like, she's like, I need you to show some emotion in your voice. And I was like, girl, what? I was like, after all these years, no emotion. You want me to walk in today and just give emotion? I needed to have a heads up. She's like, we say the script. I was like, but you know what, reading. So walking in, I was like, oh girl. So I was like, all right. So I had to find the switch for all of this emotion for Garnet. And it was just like the hardest thing, because like I said, it's like a submarine in a rocket ship, and I had to find, well, maybe like an airplane, not a rocket ship, but like an airplane, like vocally. Like if I'm regularly in a submarine with Garnet as a vocal, right, as a reference, I had to find like an airplane for her, not quite a rocket ship, right? So I was like, yeah, what airline are we on? Is this Delta, American? Is this Merck? You know, like, let me on the Air Italia. What's going on? Is this Unite? I don't know what's going on. And I was trying to find the right emotion the entire recording.
Yeah.
I had to come back and do like 2 or 3 more cuts. Because it was just like such a head shock. It's such a switch in your brain. I was just like, okay, well, she had to be nice to hear, and and every single line is a different emotion.
Yeah.
But with singing, every single line has to punch you in the face, right?
Yeah.
That's how you know you feel whatever you're doing. That's how people feel the record. So normally you just sing and you're like, I sing how I feel in this moment of this line. Well, you're reading somebody else's line and they're giving you the emotion to feel. So you have to do that. Boy, it was the hardest thing. It was hard because I was like, I'm trying to find the emotion that I would normally feel, but you're telling me to feel another emotion. Oh goodness. So it was like it was a brain fog of life. But that probably was one of the hardest times. And that's been it. After I got that one out of the way, anytime they need me to switch, I'm ready. Straight to Delta Airlines. Straight to whoever. I don't know. Straight to whatever. Yeah.
No, that was actually one of my favorite performances of yours, because you could feel the vulnerability there.
Yeah.
And she loves Steven so much,
Yes.
but it was like, there's nothing she could do to protect him, but every father, every mother feels that. You know what I'm saying? So
You relate.
really appreciate that
Thank you.
performance, and thank you for all you're doing. Hopefully we get a moment like that in the movie.
He tried, guys. He tried. His Applebee's is great.
Well, if it was tea, we might have been on to something.
Hold on.
She said tea after the question. We might got something.
Just correct me if I'm wrong. You have Caribbean roots, right?
I do.
Good, because that's where this question comes from.
Okay, let's see.
All right. So as a Caribbean American, we inherit certain teachings from our families.
Yes.
And mine was my grandmother. She would always tell me every time I'm singing any type of soca or calypso, study your books. Right?
All right.
So my question to you is, being that you landed into entertainment,
Yes.
which probably wasn't something your parents have seen into your future,
Right.
what was the lessons that they tried to instill into you that you grew into, but then you found your own way through entertainment?
Well, my dad was a drummer. Well, he's a musician. So, and that's how they met. And he was in a band when they met. So my mom was half and half with it, other than the fact that she was kind of like, I'll never like, she had a whole background where she was stopped from doing what she wanted to do as a kid, so she was never like, I'll stop doing this or don't do that, but she was always like, you know, like do what you want to do, just have a backup. That was her thing. When you was in school, study your books and get that done, though.
Yeah.
You know, absolutely. But she never stopped us. She never stopped me. I never wanted to. She, like for the first 5 years, I was like, I want to be a lawyer. No, I want to be this. No, I went to study law to a degree. I went to an internship as a law office. That was my study. Law. It was fun, and it was really boring. And I said, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I was 15. I was like, oh, this is never gonna work. And after that, I just decided to do music. But I studied journalism. I went to work as I studied media journalism, photography. I went to work at a production company, and I was a runner, and we did animation in one of its earliest phases.
Right.
So like real life rendering and like how it really works, and so I was running a production company, and then I got fired from that. Kind of. I say kind of because she was like, so look. So my main boss, and who I'm still really cool with to this day, right, was like, you're like, he's my friend kind of, and it's weird. He was like really cool with me. I feel like he understood it. He just had loads of money and wanted to start this business and then employed business people to run it. So they came and like were like, so look, you're late every day. Because I used to go do my job and then I would go do music, right?
Right.
And I don't really feel like you want to be here. I was like, I do, but also I want to be there. And so she was like to me, look, you're young enough, get it done. Go do your music. And it's kind of been the same thing. I had the backup of being able to do that. And I feel like sometimes life pushes you out when you're not ready. You know, out of scenarios when you're not ready, even just because it's time in the universal space for you to do what you're supposed to do. So it was the right time for me to go. I was definitely like, oh shit, what am I gonna do? Excuse my language. My mom's gonna kill me. For like a year, she definitely was on my behind. Like, what are you doing? Like, I moved out home, was definitely homeless for a minute. It was all kinds of stuff. But yeah, she definitely is instilled in us to have a backup. And to that point, I've always had a backup or something that is, a second wave, with whatever I'm doing. Or I learned the business really well, I think. So I wouldn't ever be completely asked out, essentially.
Cool.
So that was our thing, yeah.
Awesome.
Go read
Thank you.
books.
Okay, so when you think about places where you felt the most at home, felt like you could be totally yourself, the weird parts, not so weird parts, the nerdy parts, where have those places been, and how have those helped to kind of shape how you look about the world?
Oh, I just try to be myself at all times. I try. I think I want to say I hit a point about 4 or 5 years ago, where I was like, oh, definitely out here living somebody else's viewpoints and dreams. Because with music and traveling about the world, you end up, in order just to move forward or just to like get beyond some things, you kind of sit yourself down sometimes. And so I've been hitting in the past 5 years, I've been just slowly becoming and taking every chance I get emotionally, and every time I remember, every time it's brought to my attention, to just be myself, right? And it's been fun. It's been an interesting ride because there's sometimes I'm like, oh, that's special. Oh, fuck it, it's me. And someone told me it's being okay with that. Yeah. It's like shadow work, like being okay with those parts that are weird to everyone else, and still standing in it and smiling in it and being like, yeah, this is what I do. And whether it's being quiet, whether it's perceived in any kind of way, still just being okay with it.
Are there specific spaces or groups of people that help to kind of make that easier for you to do?
Well, doing this,
Yeah.
doing Steven Universe has been one of the places. I get to be there on stage at all times. It's like a clear expression. Like I'm allowed to have a clear expression on stage. And I allow myself to have it more and more off stage. and then coming to conventions, and there's no way you can come to conventions and put on an act. You know, like people walk up to you with real emotion and whatever they're there for, whether they're paying to see you online, whether they're just hi. It's a clear, real emotion. And then there are some people who put on a whole act and you're just like, what are you doing? Like, hey, it's okay. It's not one of your places, you don't have to do that. You know, and I'm that person, what are you doing? Stop it. You know. But there's no, I think these places force you to be yourself. Not like in a bad way forced, but like you just, there's no reason to be anything else. There's no reason to. Thank you.
So, as a creative, there's always an evolution from when you begin to wherever you are in life. So I'm curious, how has your creative process as a songwriter and overall song construction changed from when you started to Steven Universe to now?
Think about it. When I started, I was very much, how would I say it? When I started, I used to be on complete vibe, right? And I would say that as much as I listened to so much music, I wasn't very daring. I was very focused about, and literally very focused about being like the harmony queen. So my records would have like 70 tracks of harmonies for no reason, just mad harmonies. So I want everything to blend and sound beautiful. And then I worked with, on Shine, I worked with John Legend, and he was very much about the single voice. He's like, your voice is very much, is a real distinctive sound. What are you hiding it for? This is the basis of all of our conversations. What are you hiding? Like, what are you hiding your voice for? What are you hiding this energy? What are you doing? Just sing, do it with one voice. And I was like, what? You mean take away these harmonies? He's like, your melodies are great. Stop hiding your melodies, essentially. You know? And I'll be like, okay, well, let's try something. You know, and I still believe in the power of harmonies, but I'm also a believer in the power of the single voice. So I like to strip away people's voices, my voices, and just get to the core, right? And that's on music, without the layers, without the stuff, without things. So that's been my evolvement, and I've kind of come back to it with an added thing now. I like to freestyle a lot. Like, I was always in awe of Jay-Z and Biggie. Like, how do you just write things in air? This is crazy, this is amazing, and then you don't realize it's literally what you're doing when you sit down with a pen and a pad, so why don't you just record it, right? Instead, and then like the vocal booth is your pen and your pad, right? So, or the mic. And so like, I started doing that more recently, and especially for like dance records and more up-tempo records where it's like a stream of thought. And I'll go in and I'll freestyle the melody and see what words come out, and then write, color in the lines, essentially. And that's what I've been doing. And it's been fun. It's been an interesting journey. Some of the words and the things that you come out with, and the sounds you come out with, because now I do sounds. Because it's Steven Universe, like it's another thing in your memory bank as far as like recording, right? Because it's a microphone, it's your voice. So now I'm like freestyling, I come up with sounds and stuff instead. And it's just like, oh, this is cool. And we have new songs, you know?
Awesome, thank you.
It's kind of cool. Thank you.
Okay, I think that's it. Everybody have 2 questions?
What was that? Oh, well.
Yeah, let's go.
Is that good? Well, you come over to our booth. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna play this fun.
I was camera ready.
I was ready.
Oh, shit. Nah. Come on to the booth. All right. Well, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Questions are good. Take my tea. Go on. Go on, apple tea. Yeah. Reduce the group as a family.
Okay. Do you want a picture?
Yeah.
You in turn, you want to get a picture of us? That's the
Yeah, just.
Oh,
Y'all ready?
Oh my God.
1, 2, 3.
Oh my God.
That's what I'm talking about.